Hello and welcome to this week's Mystic Message. So this week's message is course correction. And it's interesting because it doesn't matter where you are, there's a message for you. So even if you feel like I'm on the right path or I'm stagnant and I'm at this fork in the road, or maybe I'm on the wrong path and there's an energy that is hitting us collectively right now around course correction. And it is your time. This is the time. This is your moment to pick, to choose. Which timeline do you want? Which one do you want to subscribe to? We can't keep riding the line between them for much longer. The longer we take to choose, the more pressure we feel, the more the resistance shows up. And this is a moment that is going to set the stage for the next 30 years of our lives. This is really, really big. And again, the more that we resist picking a timeline, and it's not even necessarily that like, okay, I've contracted this one specific timeline and I have to be on that, or I'm doomed to, do what I came here to do. That's not what this means. It means, at any given moment, there are an infinite number of potential timelines. Right now is a very pivotal time, and we have a few very dominant timelines. For me, it's showing up primarily as two. And they'll split, right? As we pick one and start to traverse down that one, then there's going to be, an infinite number of potential timelines, and there'll be more dominant timelines, as you progress. Think of it like roots of a tree, right? Like we're going to we pick which tree, which one are we going to start to go down? And then like the options and potentials will blossom. It's not that we have to have all of the answers. It's not that we need to know everything about the timeline. It's not that we're committing to all of the details, right? Even soul contract wise, right? I do so many soul purpose sessions with people, and it's never, this is, the job that you're supposed to have working for this company, and this is the person that you're supposed to meet and create a family with, and this is where you're supposed to live. There might be components that are relevant, like, living in this type of geographical area is really going to serve you and allow you to fall into your divine feminine or your intuition or connect with nature better. Things like that might come up and make it more relevant to geographically be somewhere versus another place, right? Just as an example. But it's not always so set in stone. It's not always all of the details. And so right now it's time to make a choice. And it's like we're at this fork in the road, many of us. And maybe we've already started to traverse down this fork in the road, and we'll talk about that. But it's like we're here in this moment, and it might not be two paths. Maybe there's three, maybe there's four, but they are going to kind of fall into one of these two themes or energies. And one is the familiar. It is the path that many people go down. It is maybe the path that you have gone down most of your life. It is the path that your parents told you to go down. It is the path that society told you to go down. It's the path that feels safer. It's the path that feels more secure because you understand the steps. You understand the stepping stones on this path. They're laid out. There are examples of it. We know what is required to get from A to Z down this path. It allows us to have a sense of control. Because it feels predictable, and because it feels predictable, it feels safe. And because we have this illusion of control, we also feel safe. And we're so programmed to go with what feels safe, right? But there's different forms of safety. And there's a safety also that comes from following the soul. It maybe doesn't feel like grounded safety, or the safety that we've been taught that we need, but it's a different kind of safety. And so one of these routes is more limiting, It's tempting. It's far more tempting because it's easier. Even if it feels harder, it's easier because, like I said, it's familiar. It's not quite as expansive. And it offers like the quick fix and the highs, and it's like the drug. It's like the path of the drug where I'm just seeking out relief. It's the path that is get the 9 to 5 and I'm working for the weekend. I'm working for that quick fix, that quick high, that band-aid to my miserable life. And it's safe because everyone else is doing it. It's safe because I've been doing it, and it's not a big change in my life. And then there's this other path that is far more expansive, that offers, provides, and requires belief in yourself and the potentials that exist in our world. It requires a level of trust. It really requires us to really embody the divine feminine, which is such a theme of this month in general. And it's the long game. The other path is the quick fix, because you can find the little quick fixes that kind of get you through the day, whether that's your glass of wine at the end of the day, whether it's going out on the weekends or whatever it is, right? This other path, it takes commitment. It takes investment of time, energy, belief, trust, doing the work on yourself, doing the shadow work. And it doesn't pay off right away. You don't reap the rewards, the fruits of your labor right away. It's playing the long game. And so you might find I'm at the fork in the road. I need to make a choice. Or maybe I've gone down the very 3D route, the get a job, go to college, get a job, have a family, get a house, do all the things that are supposed to make you happy. Maybe you have pivoted off of that route and now you're like, I need to make a decision. Do I commit to this job, or do I commit to opening my mind and expanding? Or you've taken the leap and you're like, I'm doing it. I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to be more. I'm ready to expand. But you haven't found the reward yet. You haven't reaped the rewards, whether it is finding your life partner, finding community, finding the job or career path, really feeling that purpose work, which may or may not be a job. And then you're questioning, maybe I do need to go to the other path. So think about it like this. So our red path, that's our very human 3D soothe the root chakra. That's why I chose red path. Purple is our expansive. It is the path that our soul is begging us to go down. And so maybe you're here and you're really making the decision of which way do I want to go? Or maybe you've been over here and you've known that maybe you were at this fork a few years ago, a year ago, 20 years ago, last week. And you said, I need security. That is most important to me. My inner child is not healed enough for me to take chances. So I went down this route. I knew that maybe it was not the route that my soul wanted me to go down, but it felt safe, and that was my priority. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. And so you've been going down this road. And so maybe you're here. Maybe you're there. And now you're ready to die. Maybe you've done some healing. You've gone down this road and you've done some work. You've worked with the inner child. You've gone to therapy. You've done some personal development, mindset work, deep healing, whatever. And now you're regretting that you didn't take this path. And you're here and you're like, I've already chosen. I've already gotten this far down this path. I can't go back now. I can't jump over there. I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm too committed to the path that I chose. So if this is you, I want to tell you, you're not stuck, that you can make that pivot. And this is your permission slip. If you've been thinking it, this is the moment, because this is the collective energies are working for you to course correct. If you're here, you're being asked to course correct. And I think we think, okay, course correct means I need to traverse my way back up this path and then go back down this one. Guess what? That's thinking so linearly, so human. Guess what? Fucking hop on over here. Dive on over. Just fucking dive in. You don't need to know what to expect over here. You just need to know that you're going to leave this version of you behind and you're ready for more. You're ready to expand. And it's okay. Do not beat yourself up for not taking that leap a year ago. Do not beat yourself up or think, I've already lost too much time. What's the point? What's the point, right? Stop it. Those are not the thoughts to have, because this is your invitation. It is never too late. You needed to go down this path for a reason. You did. It wasn't the wrong path for you then. It was all meant to be. But now you're being invited to rethink it and to dive over. Not think I need to go in reverse and jump over here and I've lost all this time. Dive in. Dive in. The universe will be there with welcome arms. All right. Maybe, so next person, maybe you've gone down this road. Maybe you've been doing the thing. I have been doing the deep work. I am not living typically. I'm not living by societal norms or expectations. I'm doing my own thing. And I'm over here now. I'm this blob. However, I'm feeling like nothing's paying off. I'm still struggling with my bills. I still haven't found my life partner. I'm still struggling to find community. I'm not there. I'm not receiving what I feel like the universe promised me or I expected, right? And so now you're here and you're wondering, do I just keep traversing down this path? I got this far based off of trust and belief and surrender, right? Such a divine feminine path over here. Divine feminine, divine masculine. I made it this far off of that. Do I say fuck it and I go over here because it's not working, and at least over here promises me things that feel more tangible and standard. I know if I come over here and go back to my 9 to 5, I'm going to get paid time off, right? There's more knowns over here and a lot of unknowns over here. So you're here and you're wondering, what the fuck do I do? And is this maybe not the path for me? Maybe I need to go back up and revisit. Maybe I need to come back to this fork and decide, is there a different path, right? Do I go back down this one? Do I do what everyone else is telling me to do? Because I did the other path and I am not really feeling the payoff quite yet. The message for you if you're here is to remember that this is the long game, that it doesn't manifest magically instantly. We are so dense as third dimensional human beings in these physical biological bodies. We're too dense to manifest instantaneously. In other realms, sure. That's not going to happen here. And there is a realm of play the long game. And so if you're here, the message is to keep going. Please do not give up. Please do not hesitate. Please don't stall. Don't even just sit here and just wonder and feel stagnant. Just keep going. You need this surrender and this faith and this trust now more than ever. And I resonate so heavily with this message. And so I very much have compassion and understanding for what it is like to feel like, I did it. I did it. Universe, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. When's it going to kick back for me? When's it going to work out? And so the message for you is, please don't stop. We need people on this path so that this becomes the norm, so that we are paving the way to create safety over here for those who are too fearful over here to go over here. If we can create safety and stability, and we can be examples for people that you can go over here and you'll be safe and you can create security in your life in whatever way that looks like for you. That the universe needs us to lead by example. So this is your invitation to please do not revert back to over here. And then for the other person who's right here, I haven't even made a decision. I've been sitting at this fork in the road and I'm too scared to make a decision. Whether there's healing stuff that is needed in that way, inner child stuff, taking our power back, healing from narcissistic relationships that make us feel paralyzed and making decisions. Whatever the reason is that we're paralyzed and we're stuck here in between, this is the path I want, but I don't know if I can do it. This is the path that everyone else does, and maybe I should do it. You are at this crossroads. You are at this fork in the road. You are at a beautiful space to make the decision, and also trust and know, even if you do make this decision and you start to go down this path like this person over here, at any point traversing this path, you can jump over. All that's required of you is that as you're going down this path, you are doing some healing work, because the only thing that keeps us over here is the shadow, is the lack of belief, is the ego, right? And we don't get rid of the ego. We don't get rid of the shadow. We just get to know them. We just get to know them. And once you get to know them, you can allow them to soothe them so that you can feel safe to jump over here. That's what this person did. They got to know their shadow and their ego, and they realized, shadow, ego, you don't need to keep me in a place of fear. I'm okay. I'm not a caveman anymore. I got this. And they got to know and soothe that so that they could feel safe enough to jump over here. So if you're here and you need to go down this road, there's no shame. And I want to give you permission to do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, if we don't feel safe in all of these areas, we're not going to last over here anyways, right? And so know that you can make any choice. However, I invite you to really keep an open mind of what is going to be waiting for you over here. It's expansive. It's big. It's magical. It is experiencing life in a way many humans don't get to, seeing the world in a way that many people don't view the world, in a magical way. And this is where the leaders are born. This is where leaders are born. This is where we make a big impact. And again, it doesn't matter when you come over here, but if you're here, nothing's really stopping you, right? You can go down that road. And I'm always here if you need a little pep talk. I would love to give professional pep talks for a living if I could, because I have a blast. But I am here to offer safety and reminders and all through your journey. And so I hope that this message hits you where it needs to hit you, in the way that it needs to hit you, so that you can choose the timeline that feels best for you and is going to yield you what you desire in life. Love you.